Hey everybody, I'm Susan Hill, animal communicator and natural dog trainer, founder of Canine Leaders University, where leaders are made, not born. How are you doing? Well, today we're going to discuss how to end the frustration, or at least reduce it, on your walks with your dog on leash. Well, there's a lot of frustration if you have a big, powerful dog, an energetic dog, or even a dog that's stubborn. These can be very frustrating experiences. Or maybe a dog that tries to lunge after other dogs. It can really test your patience, so much so that you just really don't want to take your dog out, or you go to remote locations where nobody will be. I've done it. I've been there. My story is I started out with a couple of powerful Dobermans, and one of them redirected the female, Jody. She would redirect, meaning she would see something, want to go after it, but couldn't because she was restricted by the leash, and then she would redirect and bite me in the leg. I'm not kidding you. She would bite me actually in the leg, and she did it over and over and over again. And people would tell me, you should put her down. You know, she's biting you. She's an aggressive dog. I can't tell you how many people would say that to me. Well, that was unacceptable. You know, I don't want to, there's got to be a reason. Why is it just okay to kill an animal when maybe you can find out why and correct it? Like, that's my approach, right? Why go to a drastic thing like killing somebody just because you don't know the answer? It's not like she went around biting everybody all the time and there was something really wrong with her. It was really only when we would go out for these walks. So my story started there, and I began this journey of inquiry about how to end this problem with my dog. And not only that, is when the two dogs, Zeus and Jody, would be together, they would fight on leash. And oftentimes they'd knock me down and I'd get hurt. At one point I even broke a finger. I was holding the leash and Zeus bolted after a bunny rabbit on a trail, and it broke my finger right in half. And I couldn't use my whole hand for like 6 weeks. I couldn't work. It was terrible. So I can tell you that my story was all very frustrating. I did obedience training. My dog knew how to sit. She knew how to stay. She knew how to go down, and then she'd bite me in the leg again. She knew all her commands, yet it did nothing to help me with this problem of her aggression. And then I moved to Southern California, and then it got worse because I was very stressed out. It was quite a culture shock moving from rural Connecticut to busy metropolitan Los Angeles area, Southern California. And so I tried even some drugs on my dog, doggy Prozac. That didn't even work. And then somebody said, call Cesar Millan, the dog whisperer. So I ended up getting on the show, and Cesar was able to control my dogs, and he was amazing. And Cesar, if you're watching this, you're awesome. Big shout out to you. But I was not able to do it. And because of the whirl of the show, and he was able to control my dogs, it was kind of like let go. And then I was just on my own to figure things out, and it didn't get any worse. But what I did was I really went within, and I looked at myself on a deeper level, and I said, what is it that I'm doing? And I kind of put two and two together, and I realized that I wasn't using my energy correctly, and I was giving affection to my dog at the wrong time, and too much of it. And basically I was kind of interfering with my ability to have good energy and allow her to follow me. So once I made some of these corrections, which I go deeper in my course, How to Walk Dogs with Grace and Ease, then I was able to really begin chipping away and honing at this process of becoming a person who has good energy and can lead my dog. And it wasn't something that happened overnight. It was something that I had to really work at. So if you're having a problem with your dog, I do recommend making sure that you have a well-fitting collar. Totally up to you what kind you use. I oftentimes either use a prong collar for a dog that is not sensitive and can't hear me through the leash, or I may even use a slip lead. It just depends on the dog. It depends on the energy, the personality or caninality of the dog, and it depends on your handling skills. And I do recommend a leash that's very comfortable on your hands. Never mind these nylon ones that bite your hand when you hold on to it, or one of those retractable leashes. Like, those are the worst. You can't control a dog at all with those retractable leashes. Oftentimes a knob that stops the leash from extending, it doesn't work right, and then you can't get your dog back in. So don't use those. Those aren't really good. Now, for those of you who use harnesses, I know that you really want your dog to feel free and everything, but I don't like harnesses, and I just got to be real with you. I just have to be real, okay? And I'm going to tell you, I don't like harnesses, and the reason why is because harnesses are made to be comfortable. They're designed to fit your dog comfortably so they can comfortably pull a load, as in like being a sled dog kind of thing. So when you're trying to train your dog and you're not really there yet, because if you were there yet, you probably wouldn't be watching this video, or maybe you are and you still are, but I recommend using a collar, because collars are a better training tool than a harness. So you just have to realize that you could still do it if you're really able to get your energy ramped up and be super leader oriented. But if you can't, your dog isn't going to be able to really follow your lead as well as if you use a collar. Now, before you ever go out on a walk, I recommend that you practice having your dog follow you around without a leash, just in your backyard or wherever you can do it. Get your dog used to following you. This is extremely natural, and if your dog won't follow you, he's never going to walk with you. So you have to start from ground zero. Get your dog to follow you off leash. Now, the leash is man-made. It's unnatural, and dogs hate them. There are some dogs that are okay, but most dogs hate the leash. They just hate it. It just is considered a restriction, and it really bothers them, causes them a lot of stress. So start practicing off leash first, but of course in an area where your dog can't run away. Then I recommend that when you're ready to begin walking on leash, what you want to do is you want to make sure that your dog is relaxed and able to follow your communication. So you want to get their attention. This is very important, that they're focused on you. Well, it's not always easy to do, especially if they've been inside all day and they're really excited to go out. This is their first time all day, or maybe in a few days to go outside. So they're really excited. They're not going to be relaxed. So what you want to do is you want to take your dog and bring your dog into an area where they can run around and just kind of burn off some of the pent-up energy that they've stored from the day without, just resting. Then once they've got their heart rate up and they've, been running or doing their doggy thing, then now they're more able to focus on you because they've blown off some steam. This is a really important detail for you being a better dog handler. So if you like what I've told you so far and you're interested in learning more, go ahead and sign up for my newsletter. I'm going to just provide you with some awesome content that's going to really make a huge difference in your life. Now listen, when I first started, I sucked. I mean, my dogs had me completely airborne, completely legs off the ground, flying through the air. And now I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good handling dogs. So if I can do it, you can do it. So go ahead and sign up below, and you are going to be on your way to beginning to ending your frustration and becoming the born leader that you're meant to be. Leaders are not naturally born, but you can be reborn and be made into becoming a canine leader. Go ahead and sign up below. Peace and richest blessings. Okay, guys, you want to go for a walk? Let's go for a walk.